This is the book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 38, verse 24. And it reads, "The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that hath little business shall become wise." Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai. Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai. Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai. Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well and rule well, who taught me this truth. Peace, a salutation to the Akim, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth at risk of their own lives throughout the four corners of the earth. And to the Aquas listening and learning, Shalom. It's your brother Shimon from the Pillars of Benjamin camp, here with another lesson. And we'll get right into it. Sirach 38, verse 24. And it reads, "The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure," right? The wisdom of a learned man. Who's a learned man? The elect. Lord willing, we are that number. What is the wisdom? This truth, right? Cometh by opportunity of leisure. Opportunity of leisure. You can't be consumed with the rat race. You can't be consumed with getting the bag. That can't take precedence over this truth, man. The truth comes first. Right? If you're in the if you're in the plantation, the plantation rules, and it's your all and everything, day in and day out. You're not. For one, you're not going to have. It's impossible. It's impossible. Right? It says here, the wisdom, the knowledge, the wisdom, this truth of a learned man. We're the learned men, the elect, right? Cometh by opportunity of leisure. Opportunity of leisure, right? He's not working all the time. And granted, we got to use the word as not abusing it, right? But it's not the first and foremost, right? What's first and foremost? Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai. And he that hath little business shall become wise. He that hath little business shall become wise, right? You don't live for the rate. You don't live for the rat race, man. Right? Scriptures say, "Woe is me if I preach not the gospel." Let's get that. First Corinthians chapter 9. Verse 16. And this is the Apostle Paul speaking. "For though I preach the gospel," what is this gospel? This good news. And who is this good news for? Israelites. Israel being a people before a place. What is this good news? Salvation. Right? "For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of. For necessity is laid upon me." Right? It's necessary that I preach this gospel. Why? "Yeah, woe is unto me." Woe means destruction. Destruction is unto me if I preach not the gospel. This is what the Apostle Paul said, man. He's saying if he didn't preach the gospel, destruction unto him. He said it's a necessity laid upon him. By who? Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. Verse 17, "For if I do this thing willingly, I have a reward." Right? If I did this under my own, if I by choice of my own, I would have a reward. I would get paid. But if against my will, meaning I'm doing this because Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai has put it on me to do it, right? But if against my will, a dispensation of the gospel is committed unto me. Let's look at this in this word dispensation. Dispensation.
Strong's G 3622. Oikonomia. Oikonomia.
Oikonomia in the Greek. the management of a household or household affairs, specifically the management, oversight, administration of others' property, right? We are in charge of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's property, this knowledge, this truth, administration, dispensation, overseer, office of a manager or overseer, the office of what? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We're managers, overseers of the office of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Right? So it's got to get done, man. It has to get done. There's no time to play around with this thing. Right? Jake think they're gonna build up on this side. Micah 2:10 says, "Arise ye and depart." Right? We're in the last days, man. Judgment's going forth. Love of many is waxing cold. A sword is being sharpened. 2/3 of our people out here are gonna get it. Let's look at this in the NLT. For if I do this thing willingly, Salakia, 1 Corinthians 9 verse 17 in the NLT, if I were doing this on my own initiative, I would deserve payment. But I have no choice, right? We have no choice, man. For the Most High has given me this sacred trust, right? We have no choice. This ain't of our doing. Lord said, go and teach the house of Israel. Sirach 38 verse 25. How can he get wisdom that holds the plow, right? How can you get wisdom, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding if you're always working for Esau? You get up, you go to work. You're down in the spirit amongst these heathen nations in the plantation. You go on lunch. You're around Edomites. You're around 2/3. Dead from the neck up zombies. You go back to work. You get a break. You're still around heathens. You're still around 2/3 of our people. You go back to work. Checkout time. You go home. You fix something to eat. You turn on the television. You fall asleep on the couch. You get up in the morning and you do it again. And not once during the course of that day did you pick up the scriptures, pick up the Bible, do a lesson, meditate on scriptures. That's what this means. Right? If that is your life, right? How can he get wisdom? Right? Sirach 38 verse 25. How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow, and that glorieth in the gold, that driveth oxen, and is occupied in their labors, and whose talk is of bullocks, right? Talking about work. You know, I'm gonna leave this job, or I'm gonna get another job, or I got a raise, or I got a promotion. Right? Glorious in goads and talkers of bullocks. Yeah, I got a raise. I got a promotion. I'm VP. I'm the head of this region. Right? This is not your rest. Micah 2:10. This is not your rest. The kingdom of heaven is at hand, man. Kingdom of heaven is coming. Yahushua is about to crack that sky with the hosts of heaven, the armies of heaven, to lay waste, to judge. And Jake want to talk about plantation, job. Sirach 38, verse 25 once again. How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow, and that glorieth in the gold, that driveth oxen, and he is occupied in their labors, and whose talk is of bullocks? Verse 26, he giveth his mind to make furrows, and is diligent to give the kind fodder, right? His mind is given to his job, man. What can I do to make the company? What can I do to make the company more profitable? right? And yeah, we are this day in our captivity. We are subject to payment, so we have to work. We do, right? But it's not the number one thing, man. Right? Right? This is not saying don't work. The Lord will take care of everything. Right? We have faith the Lord's going to take care of things, but we're still in Esau's kingdom. We still got to pay bills. We still got to punch in and punch out, right? But it's not the number one priority. This truth is first, right? Right? There's a big difference of living for work, living to work, than working to live. Right? You on the job, you in this truth, you on the job, you got the brothers in your ears, in the earphones. You driving, you got the brothers on your Bluetooth coming through your speakers. Right? You get an opportunity, you drop a lesson through your phone while you're at the plantation, or you're meditating on what scriptures you're going to bring out, what your topic's going to be. Right? That's how the men of the Lord, Lord willing, right? The hopeful elect, Lord willing, wherever that number. That's the mindset of the of an elect man, of a man of the Lord. 1 Corinthians 7. First Corinthians 7 verse 35. And this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, and that ye may attend upon the Lord without distraction. Right? You can't be distracted in this truth, man. You got to attend upon the Lord without distraction. If your job's distracting you, you got to find another job. If your job is taking all your attention, you got to find another job. Okay, you got to be occupied in these prophecies. Sirach 39 verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, right? Occupied in the meditation thereof, thinking day and night, 24/7 about this word, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies, right? Occupied in prophecies, man. And what does occupied in prophecies entail? Doing this work, right? Watching for the prophecies, filtering them through the scriptures, watching the news, mainstream news, independent news alerts on your phone, filtering them through the scriptures, and then blowing the trumpet, warning the house of Israel, man, whether they hear or forbear. Video epistles, video sit downs, the hedges on the weekend. That's the work. Sirach 38 verse 27. So every carpenter and workmaster that laboreth night and day, and they that cut and grave seals, and are diligent to make great variety, always working. Right? This is talking about a carpenter and a workmaster. Right? Let's read it from the top once again. So every carpenter and workmaster that laboreth night and day, and they that cut and grave seals, and are diligent to make great variety, and give themselves to counterfeit imagery, and watch to finish work. The smith, verse 28, the smith also sitting by the anvil, and considering the ironwork, the vapor of the fire wasteth his flesh, and he fighteth with the hammer and the anvil as ever in his ears. And his eyes look still upon the pattern of the thing that he maketh. He setteth his mind to finish his work, and watches to polish it perfectly. Right? Watching his work, not watching the work of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Right? Not focused on the dispensation, the administration, the office of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. This gospel, this truth. Jump down to verse 31. All these trust to their hands, and everyone is wise in his work. Right? And that's pretty much 2/3 of our people out there, man. I gotta get that bag. Right? That bag ain't gonna save you. from the wrath that's coming, right? Proverbs 20 verse 4, the sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. The sluggard, the lazy, he's not going to work by reason of the cold, right? It goes for men in this truth that don't want to work because they're lazy. Work in the truth, this gospel, because they're lazy. They don't want to do the videos. They don't want to do the sit downs. They don't want to go to their hedges, right? Proverbs 20 verse 4, once again, the sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg and harvest and have nothing, right? Therefore shall he beg when Yahweh Shai returns. What did the Lord say? Luke 16 verse 15, and he said unto them, red letter, ye are they which justify yourselves before men, right? Justify yourselves before men, right? The eyes of men. But the Most High knoweth your hearts, heart being mine. For that which is highly esteemed, valued, right? Among men, right? This world, right? And what is highly esteemed among men? The plantation, your job, your degree, how many sales you make, your job title, status, right? For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination, hateful, in the sight of the Most High, right? The Most High is not dealing with that, man. The Most High said, go and speak to the house of Israel, right? And that's not saying every man's a prophet, but there's helps, right? And how you help, that's work, right? Doing the work of the Lord, Yahweh Shai. Lord said, prophesy. Lord said, blow the trumpet. Right, this place is through. You see prophecy rolling off the pages. Right? Sirach. Sirach 51 verse 30, and it reads, work your work betimes, and in his time he will give you your reward, right? You gotta work. Whose work? Yahweh Shai's work. This gospel is truth, right? And in his time, when Yahweh Shai returns, he will give you your reward, right? And us in this truth, we strive for the kingdom, man. We strive for the kingdom. That's what our mindset is on. The kingdom. Romans 12 verse 11, and it reads, not slothful in business. Whose business? The Most High's business. Fervent in spirit. Fervent means hot, fire. Serving the Lord. Serving Yahweh Shai. Scripture just came to mind. Revelation 3. Revelation 3 verse 15, red letter. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. You're not cold, you're not hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. The Lord wants you one or the other, cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm in the middle, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Right? The Most High is not dealing with the middle. Okay, I'm going to go to camp this week. I'm going to do a video today, and then that's it till next week. Or I'm going to come to camp and don't do videos during the week. Not sup with the brotherhood. Iron sharpeneth iron. Right? You're supposed to want to be around like-minded. Let's get that. Iron sharpeneth iron. You're supposed to want to be around like-minded. Be continually. Let's get that also, Lord willing. Right? You're not supposed to want to be around these zombies out here. 2/3. Iron sharpeneth iron. It's in Proverbs. You're supposed to be supping with the brothers. Reading. That's if you have a brother in your locality, right? Who's in the truth. Right? You both speak the same thing in one accord. Right? The same thing, one accord. Right? Reading. Right? During the week. Dropping your videos. Fellowshipping at camp. Fellowshipping during the week. Iron sharpeneth iron. Proverbs 27, verse 17, and it reads, Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Right? And how's that going to happen? Fellowshipping with one another. The brotherhood. Right? Right? It's truth. This truth comes for. You're supposed to. You're in this truth. You're supposed to want to be around the brotherhood more than the plantation, more than a co-worker, more than your blood family on this planet, who are in the world, who worship Serapis, who go after their own lusts. Granted, you have family, but the dialogue to a minimum, man. We can't. Let's get that. We can't agree. We don't speak the same thing. We don't see the same thing. Second Corinthians 6, verse 14, it reads, Be ye not unequally yoked with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? Right? You coming in this truth, you can't be hanging around the two-third mans them that you used to hang with in the world, man. Right? That's lock off. That's finish. That's old. That's done. That's in and out. Observe the time. Went around unbelievers. Observe the time. Sirach 13, verse 17. And it reads, What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb? So the sinner with the godly. Right? You can't be around 2/3 day in and day out. Them spirits will jump on you, man. Right? When you're at the plantation, in and out. Keep it brief. Sirach 38. Salakia. Sirach 37. Verse 12. There's another one I wanted to get. Bear with me. Khan. Sirach 27. Verse 12. If thou be among the indiscreet, observe the time. Right? You're looking at your watch, man. But be continually among men of understanding, right? So if you got to be around 2/3, if you got to be around, family members, unbelievers, observe the time. Sirach 37, verse 12. But be continually with a godly man, right? One in his truth, speaking the same thing, one accord, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry. Right? You gotta be around brothers, man. The brothers. Right? And if you can't be physically around the brothers, you gotta be plugged into this truth. Right? By way of the unicorn, man. You gotta be plugged in. Right? Because this world, it's wicked, man. Right? It's wicked. Stay prayed up. Prayed out ceasing. Qam Yasharahla. Wa abad babal. Shalom.